Welcome back. My first guest today is Susan Cromer, Park Ranger at West Point Lake, and welcome to the show, Susan.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. How long have you been at West Point Lake now, Susan?
Been at West Point for 10 years, since 2008.
Okay, so you've had some previous federal government experience. What have you done before you came to West Point?
I worked for the National Park Service, worked at 2 National Historic Sites, Andersonville National Historic Site, and Jimmy Carter National Historic Site in Plains, Georgia.
Okay, and how long did you do that?
I worked there for 13 years.
Really? Wow, that's right. Quite a while. So which was your favorite place to work at?
I'd probably say Andersonville, just because the story is so special there.
Sure, that's neat. That's neat. So when you came to West Point, one of the programs you got into was the campground program. And as park rangers, we rotate duties about every 3 to 4 years. So you get a taste of everything that we do, from campground program, law enforcement contracts, sign program, interpretive water safety programs. You've been doing water safety programs now for quite a while. So there's a lot goes on behind the scenes that the public doesn't see, but we usually rotate out those duties every 3 or 4 years. So Susan, you have had the campground program years ago, and now we're about to transition back to the campground program now. What, from your previous work experience with the campground program, do you think is going to benefit you as you move forward, as you take it on right now in 2019?
I think one of the best things is that I've already, I have a relationship with some of the park attendants already. Sure. And I'm familiar with the contracts that they are under, and I'll be able to do a better job, I hope, because I've got more experience now, and looking forward to the 2019 season. Sure,
sure. So one question we always get is, hey, how can I become a park attendant? You know, share with the viewers, I mean, is that a job, or what exactly is a park attendant?
So it's not a job like you and I have. It's actually a contract position, and people that are interested have to submit a daily bid rate. And the contracts vary from campground to campground. The length of the contracts are different based on the number of days that the campground is open. So couples that are interested have to submit a bid and go through a bid process with our contracting office in Mobile, Alabama.
Okay, and you just got back from Mobile for the park attendant draft. So how many contracts did we have, and how many did we actually fill?
Well, we have 8 positions, or 8 contracts at West Point Lake, 2 for each of the 4 campgrounds that we have. Unfortunately, we were not able to fill all of the contracts. We were only able to fill 5 of them. So right now we're looking for 3 couples to place bids on these jobs and get them in place before the rush in the spring.
Sure. So while we have everyone's attention here on this TV show, just describe how somebody can put a bid in maybe for one of those vacant contracts.
So the best way to handle it is just to give me a call at the office. They can call me at the project management office. The number there is 706-645-2937. And they'll just can ask for me. I'm Susan Cromer.
Okay. You can provide them information on how they can bid.
I can give them information.
So what's your typical park host? Are they full-time employees somewhere else, or retired?
Most of our park attendant contractors are retirees who have had a career doing something else, and some of them are just doing it for the fun of it, something to do, and then it's a little extra income as well.
Sure, sure. On average, probably in a month, someone could maybe get, I don't know, $500 or more per month.
A little more than that.
A little more than that.
So they pay usually anywhere from $85 a day up to about $125 a day at our lake.
And on average, work maybe 14, 15 days each month. 4 days on, 4 days off.
4 days on, 4 days off.
Right, right. So gatehouse operations, so they have to open the gates in the morning.
It's a long day, and it starts at 7 o'clock in the morning where they open the campground gates, and the day doesn't end until around 10 that evening when shut the gate. So it is a long day. That's why we have a 2-person team, so they can cover that 15-hour day.
Sure, right. It does make for a long day. I've noticed, I had the campground program many years ago, and usually we had a lot of people bid on those contracts. Nowadays, due to different circumstances, maybe people are not able to retire early, we don't have that many people bidding on these contracts. So we try to entice people to bid. So we've made some changes within the last couple of years, trying to make it a little easier on the park attendants. What's one of the nicest things we've done for them as far as having to be in the gatehouse?
Well, last year we went to a cashless operation where we don't take any of the green stuff anymore, or no checks. So that's a little easier on the park attendants. They don't have to make a deposit and take the deposit to the bank. So it's a little easier for them. It also is a security benefit.
Sure.
So that they don't have large amounts of cash on hand. So that's one positive change. We've also went to a all reservable system, and that also makes it a little easier on our park attendants.
So, and our camping occupancy rates have increased over the last number of years. So
we're busy bees.
Right. So most people who come in already have an existing reservation. So there's not really a whole lot that park attendant's going to have to do. We've also shortened the amount of hours they have to work in the gatehouse now. Normally,
during the week, they can open the gate at 7 and not occupy the gatehouse until around 10, and then cut off about 8 and then lock the gate at 10.
Sure, and that gives them a little break during the day,
it's a
because,
little better.
Like you said, it is a long day, especially from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. And they work how many days on their shift?
It's a 4-day on, 4-day off rotating schedule.
Okay, that's great. So we have a new reservation contract now, Recreation One Stop. Tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you've seen already with that program, and do you expect them to get a little better by the spring?
So with any new software system, there's going to be some hiccups. We started this contract on October the 1st, and it's been a challenge for us and for some of our customers as well. They're making improvements to the system every week. One of the biggest challenges now is processing date changes and transfers within the campground. But we hope to have some of those issues resolved before our busy season in the spring.
Okay, all right, yes. And hopefully things will be a lot smoother in the spring, and people
keeping our fingers crossed.
Right. So as far as reservations, how far out in advance can you make a reservation?
6 months out.
6 months out. So so people are probably already planning their holidays to make those reservations. That's right. Yep, that'll be here before you know it. So real quick, before we wrap up our segment here, let's just talk about when the campgrounds are going to open in the springtime here. So just looking here at our schedule, we have Amity Campground, opens on April the 12th, and that's going to stay open until September the 5th, just after Labor Day. Holiday Campground, March 22nd, and it will close on September 3rd as well. And that is one of our more popular parks. Another one, Schaefer Herd Campground, and is open year-round. So right now, sites 1 through 54 open, and then we open up the full campground on March 15th. And then lastly, Whitetail Ridge, which is still currently open until the Sunday after Thanksgiving. It will reopen March 1st in 2019. So looking ahead, Susan, as the campground manager, what's one thing that you really want to be known for over the next 3 or 4 years that you have the program? What's something that you really pride yourself with that program?
So I would like for our campers to have a positive camping experience. We want them to have a good, safe time.
Sure.
And I just want it to be a smooth transition from the time that they check in until the time that they check out. I want them to have a smooth, enjoyable experience, and something they'll be able to tell their friends and family about and make some of those great memories.
Sure. That's awesome. And I think we're moving towards that every year. I feel like at West Point Lake, things have improved. We've seen fewer complaints this past year, you know. Our campgrounds have been full, but it's been a real good year. And Susan, I look forward to you managing the campground program. And again, if you're interested in becoming a park attendant, you can just call our office at 706-645-2937 and ask for Susan Crummer, and she can fill you in on all the details there to put in a bid for a park attendant at West Point Lake. Susan, thank you very much for being on the show. Appreciate you being here, and we'll be right back.